right, we're starting to wrap stuff up. Final coping is in. We got our stacked slate walls in the bottom. Joel is washing everything down. We're digging out the stream over in this section. Biofilter has been done. We have a few random spots that we still have to fill up. The berm is just about complete as well. Hopefully we should have a liner in there today. Make that seam, and then we can start dropping in all those big boulders. So we're getting down to it. Everything is looking good. We got all of our trenching done. We'll start putting in the piping and working our way out of the project.
So we have a beautiful day out here at Christ Community Church. We're hoping it's actually our last day today. Rained overnight, so it made the job site a sloppy, muddy mess. So we're basically like a pig on skates out here. Made all the dirt that we were hoping to use for working around edges. Messy stuff. So really wanted it dry to make our edges look nice and crisp and clean. It's easy to rake out that way, but Mother Nature dealt us kind of a crummy hand overnight. So we're making the best of it. Right now what we're doing is we are finishing up the pondless reservoir behind me. This is that negative edge, the overflow area. We got one on the machine. We're gonna set this rock right there and continue on these edges. We're gonna work down this whole side. We got quite the work ahead of us today, but last day push. I love it. We got a lot of cleanup to do, I'm sure. It's gonna look beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Started doing some of the edges over on this section. Wetland is in place. You can see we got a little clean out section over in there. And now we're jumping up here on Waterfall. The fence guy is out here. He's pulling that down, which will help us a ton because that'll allow us access now over on that back side and enough room to spread that berm out. So once we spread that berm out, that's gonna help with the decorative component. So that'll allow some plantings up in this section to help transition between this big giant wall over here and the actual structure, and then leading down towards the water features. So those are all important little pieces. As soon as he gets that fence down, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna dig out some of this section, start dropping in some other boulders over in here to start working our way up for that waterfall. The main fall is gonna be right over in this section. We have to bring out a retaining wall over here, right where that machine is sitting, and then we're gonna start creating a series of layers or steps going backward. The idea for this was a relatively simplistic waterfall. It's not gonna be a long stream or anything, it's just gonna be a very simple waterfall coming into this little pooling area. And then over here, there's a walkway that kind of cuts through, going from the step all the way around to the other part of the property. So this little area right in between the stream is going to get a bridge made out of these steps. So it's going to kind of tie all that stuff together. It's going to be a nice solid walking surface. We'll have two of those next to each other, which is going to be 4 foot wide. We will probably end up cutting them down a little bit just to fit that space a little bit better, but that'll be a nice little access point. It's going to give you a good vantage for the main pond as well as that waterfall. Whole different view from up in this section. This is where the waterfall is going to be starting, right over in this section, cascading down to a little pooling area. It's going to go underneath that bridge all the way over here to our pumps. Wetland filter over on that side. All that water is going to get drawn across. We also have some jets and things like that in the bottom of the pond, which are going to aid in that circulation and try to get all that sediment and all that stuff in suspension.
Edgar, yes. Tell the folks out there what the heck we're doing right now.
What we're doing is we are creating like a little bit of a pre-filter to capture water off the roof. So this is going to be filled by rainwater. It's a massive roof, 6-inch downspout, which is going to bring us a lot of water, way more than we need. We created like a little bit of a pre-filter basin, has some aqua blocks in there. This is just using regular fabric, and there's really no need to have a liner in here because we want it to actually drain out. During a heavy rain, there will be a bypass where water can go into the storm sewer. Our connection is a 2-inch pipe. So what that's gonna do, it'll act as a restrictor. So it'll only allow a specific flow of water going through because we don't need all of that. We just want a little bit of water coming in with regular rain. And what was that? This is a self-sustaining water feature with minimal input of water directly from the church.
And we're just using Mother Nature as the autofill.
You got it.
Perfect.
Check this out. If you remember, a few weeks ago, started excavation out right in this little middle section. It has been completely transformed. There's still a massive pile of soil over here. That is going to be removed starting tomorrow. We started doing some of the grading, but it has been muddy. It's starting to dry up. It's clumping up a little bit. Should be a little bit better for everybody over the next couple days. But just check this thing out. Beautiful view as everybody comes up to the church. And this is our 3,000 gallon underground reservoir. It's a rainwater capture system. We're capturing all the water off of the roof. We have a little bit of a downspout filter over in here. We're going to capture that, pre-filter it, and then it's going to get discharged into our pond. That will overflow into here. So what happens is that 3,000 gallon tank, when it's full, is all the way up into here. As we slowly lose water from evaporation, splashing, etc. over several weeks, the water level drops down, we get a rain, pops back up. So we're constantly going back and forth. Rainwater is a great form of water for water features, especially when you have a nice clean roof like this. A little bit closer look over here, we have this little stump over on this side. Hidden behind that, we have our pumps. We are going to be coming in with a fake rock or a little shelter built over all of that stuff just to disguise it a little bit. I love the way this little beach entry is over here. This is going down into that clean out area. And what I mean by that, any debris that falls on the surface of the pond is going to get swept over the waterfall, and it's going to land and it's going to accumulate right at the base of that waterfall. So that allows for easy periodic maintenance. Now there's some trees around here, not too many, so they're not going to get a lot of leaf debris in here, but during the fall they are going to get some leaves and stuff like that, lawn clippings, etc., that are going to end up in the pond. We want to make sure that they're being managed. Now from here, the water is getting pumped all the way up to our wetland filter and then over to our waterfalls. All beautiful granite boulders. We have a great mixture of different sized stones. I love the way these steps turned out over here. So this is going to be an easy access going down into the pond. There is going to be a railing going in over in here. The general contractor is going to be taking care of that at some point. That's our wetland filter back on that side. We have our downspout coming in. That's a 6-inch downspout. There's going to be a lot of water coming down from that. We don't need that much water, so we just want to top the pond off. We don't need to flush everything out of it. So this is going to be a nice little access point for all that. And then this kind of blends in with everything. Nice little creek bed. Here's some of our big giant boulders that we placed. We had a lot of fun setting some of these rocks. Nice big tall waterfall. We also have this little tributary piece over on the other side just as a slight accent. You know, it's very subtle, but it actually makes a big difference because otherwise this is a lot of stonework. So what we'll do is come in here with some aquatic plantings. We have some little pockets of water and things like that over in here. This will also be planted heavily with different types of perennials. So that's going to help soften up all this rock. I mean, this is right now, it's very, very rocky. Big giant boulders everywhere. So we need some greenery to make this all work. So these little water pockets over in here for some aquatic plantings. I love the way the spillways kind of tucked behind some of those big boulders. You really can't see the origin of them. And we have our bridge. The bridge was made out of the same material as the steps. So it kind of ties it all together, makes it a little bit more cohesive. See these orange lines over here? This is going to be a new pathway that's going in. What I like about this is the original design was to have that pathway kind of going straight. In a garden type of a situation, we want twists, we want turns, we want to make people kind of have a relaxing experience, especially when you get to a garden. In a main thoroughfare like this, where you're just trying to move people along quickly, straight is better. But here we want people to contemplate. We want them to slow down. We want them to relax. It's going to be plant material, nice little meandering walkway. You actually have to work your way around all these boulders and everything. Back over in the back side, there's going to be some more trees and things planted over here. And here's that walkway kind of wrapping around. So this is our wetland filter out over here. This is responsible for the filtration inside of the pond. This will get planted up heavily with different types of aquatic vegetation. So this will all blend in. We have all that vegetation, which is going to help detoxify the water. And I love the look from over here. Again, right off of this peninsula, we're going to have some big plant material, but all of that water is just sweeping its way over that little disappearing edge over there, that negative edge, which really creates a unique look. And then everybody that drives up is going to be greeted by waterfalls, by the boulders, by this beautiful garden space, plant material coming in. It's just going to be a very nice, peaceful, serene setting. I believe there's also a pavilion talked about for going over in that section. So I can't wait to see how this changes over the next couple days. hope you enjoyed this project showcase. So we've created the structure. We have the pallet is there now. So now what we want to do is we want to decorate it. We want to come in with all the proper plant material to really make this water feature stand out and be one in a million. All right, I hope you enjoyed the project. We'll see you soon. And if you like, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts so we can see you on the next project.